of the fest, we are conducting As part of the fest, we are conducting a variety of events for all the travel and adventure enthusiasts. The events lined up for you include the Adventure Talk series, which is in collaboration with the Armageddon Club of IIM Calcutta, a unique adventure-based quiz competition, a travel and adventure quiz in collaboration with Quizzing Commoners, and the most awaited, for the first time ever, virtual escape room. Today, we are launching a unique travel and adventure case competition in collaboration with the Tata Steel Adventure Foundation as well. You all can register in a team of 2 to 3 members, which is on the national level, and the registration deadline for the same is 12th Feb. Details of all the rounds can be seen there on the D2C platform and will also be shared with all of you via email. We encourage all of you to register for the competition on D2C and stand a chance to win the cash prize of 50,000. Now over to you, Ankit.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome, Romil sir. We are very proud to have you here with us today. Team Oculus, along with Team Armageddon of IIM Calcutta, welcomes you all to the first session of this one-of-a-kind adventure talk series. Today, we have with us Lieutenant Colonel Romil Barthwal, who is an IIM Lucknow alumnus. He has had 21 years of strategic leadership experience in program risk and crisis management. He has served with the super elite armed forces, and he has also conceived from scratch and led many national and international mountaineering expeditions, including Mount Everest and Mount Elbrus, which is the highest in Europe. He is an Indian Army ultra marathon captain and an adventure sports enthusiast. Currently, Mr. Romil is the Chief Expedition Officer of Boots and Crampons Expedition Company. Team Oculus and Team Armageddon heartily welcomes Mr. Romil for today's session. We request the attendees to keep their videos on and mics muted. We'll open the floor to the audience at the end of the session for any questions you have. Meanwhile, you can type in your questions in the chat box and the team will try to address them. Welcome, Romil sir, to IIM Lucknow.
Thank you so much, Rodney. It's such an honor to be here. And it reminds me of the good days spent over there, great times. And thank you so much for such an initiative. We always wanted something like adventure to take on the front seat. And I'm glad you guys have taken the initiative. Heartiest congratulations.
Thank you so much, sir. I know, sir, you said that you don't like a lot conducting online sessions, but given the situations, we would have loved to have you on campus again here. But we'll look forward to having this opportunity again in the future.
Definitely. Online sessions get so boring, sleeping in a rajai and then forcing people to switch off the camera. I understand we've gone through that. So then it's fine. I think that's the only way possible as of now. Look forward to seeing you guys in physical form.
Absolutely, sir. Sir, so I guess moving on for the benefit of the audience, we have seen that you have had 21 years of spectacular experience in the industry and leadership positions. What comes to my mind, and I guess most of the audience's mind, is that what motivated you to move on and start your own startup, which is the Boots and Crampons Expedition Company?
See, somebody who's gone through my life would realize, I've had a very passionate life. In a B school like Lucknow and Calcutta and everywhere else, you have once you reach, they show you a slide wherein you have a triangle, and on one side you have job satisfaction, the other side you'll have money, third side you'll have lifestyle. I was very clear in my life. My only goal was to live a life full of passion. Money is okay, status is okay, everyone has their own priorities. Mine was that I have to be happy to what I am doing. I think that's the sole purpose of life. At the end of the day, if you see, a person may live for 40 years, 50 years, 60, 70, 80, 90. And there's a beautiful thing which comes to mind is that, if you tell a person every day you'll get $1 million, he'll be very happy. If you tell that, right from day one to the end of the day, end of the year or end of life, he gets $1 million, he'll be happy. But then you need to spend that money. And more than that, you have to live a life which is giving you happiness, not just money. So in my case, even if somebody is not giving me any money, it's okay. I'm happy with what I'm doing. And that was the reason, once there was the opportunity to, put up my papers in the army, I took a premature retirement. I wanted that whatever I have achieved in army, it should be, if not to that level, it should at least be closest to that level. And I think the kind of adrenaline rush which you get in adventure, in mountaineering, or any sport is beyond comparison. So that was the start point for me to, take up a thing like this. I was the placement head for my batch in Lucknow, and I could have taken up any position because of my background in IT. I did my masters from IIT Kharagpur. But then later on I realized, those things are fine. Those are not the things which I am made for, and I think I should be doing something which I really love to do. That was the reason I chose boots and crampons to be, taking me on for the next part of my journey after the army life. Army life was great. I joined in 1994 after my 12th and left in 2020. And I had to do justice with whatever I've learned in the army and share it with the people outside. And I thought that was the only way possible, by pushing the people hard, understanding that what it means to climb a mountain, what it means to be on top of a mountain with the Indian flag in their hand, because those are the things you cannot explain in a session like this. You have to experience it. And unfortunately, 99.9999 whatever percent you call it, people don't know that. They don't understand that you have to live life and not just exist. So that was the reason for me getting into boots and crampons, and that's what we are doing every other day.
Sure, sir. I think, as you mentioned, that kind of experience is something that everybody wants to have, but I guess we are all not fortunate enough to have that kind of experience. Sir, as you mentioned that you have had different roles while at IIM Lucknow, while in your engineering background, and then in the strategic leadership background. What I would like to understand is, are there any similarities or any learnings that you have taken forward from your educational background to your
Great. So you are asking, like, saying like my dad. He says this very often. He would say that, Romil, if you had to do mountaineering, then why did you do IIT Kharagpur? Why did you go to IIM Lucknow? And what we need to understand, the basics of every individual remains the same. That if hard work is there, whatever you do in life, hard work is there. If there is camaraderie, if there is trust, that holds on for all things in life. So in a B school, you learn a lot of things about marketing, about operations, about different aspects of business. The same things get implemented, be it army life, in a different way, but then the basics remain the same. So in our case, the basics which the army teaches first and foremost is discipline. So discipline, I feel, and that's drilled inside you once you get into the National Defense Academy, or after that the Indian Military Academy and in the army, is if you're disciplined to yourself, these values carry a lot of weightage. Uh, and in all my sessions, I say this thing: there are two things which people tend to confuse. One are the things which I want to do. It's like, I like watching Netflix. I like being on Instagram. I like being on Facebook or LinkedIn. But then, is it good for me? These are two different things. I like eating chocolates all through the day. But then, at the end of the day, is it doing good to my body? It's not, right? So what we need to understand is that what's good for me and what I should be doing it, right? So if you can get in sync with that, if you are self-disciplined to do things which are good for you, and everybody knows what's good for you, then you've got to stick to it. And like everybody has dreams. Once you join a B school, you want to get into a consulting kind of a job, big job like that. So everyone has dreams, and the journey from where you are to where you want to be, it's not an easy one. You'll find a lot of obstacles in between. But then, if those are your dreams, then, as you know, the movie of Shah Rukh Khan says that, if you really want something, you'll get it. It's as simple as that. If you're not getting it, that means you don't really are working hard enough for doing it. So these are the things which we need to carry it forward in, be it in any engineering institute, or be it in any B school, or in life in general. That if your basics are right, if you have discipline in life, if you are ready to pay the price to achieve your dreams, you will get it. So that's like holding the same for boots and crampons in mountaineering as well. If you know that you have to reach the top of Everest and you are at the base camp, then you know that you have to pay a heavy price for that. You have to fight the weather gods, you have to fight the health conditions, you have to fight your own endurance challenges, preparations. So if you are ready to pay that price of getting up every day in the morning, going for workouts, building up your mental strength, then you will be able to reach to the top. If you're not ready to pay the price, then unfortunately you're not going to succeed. And that's similar to B schools as well. So if you're not able to give yourself the best hard work you can do, then you'll not be able to get what you actually want in life. So that's an important aspect of any hard work.
Absolutely, sir. I don't think, we all can agree more to what you have said right now, because going through the B school journey, we are realizing how important hard work and perseverance is. Uh, Sir, as we saw in your introduction, and we have seen that you have taken up multiple expeditions yourself. And doing an expedition like this is not easy, as we understand. So, sir, what have been some of your major learnings throughout these expeditions that you have undertaken?
That's a great one. Let me tell you a story. So I was sitting in my office, that I was posted in Dehradun that time, and I get a letter which says that army has to send an expedition to Everest. And believe you me, 2018 April it was, and I had no mountaineering experience. The previous expedition I had done was way back in 1998, 20 years back, and in that expedition we had lost one of our teammates. I was in the Indian Military Academy in 1998 and getting training for the army, and that's when we went for an expedition. There's one guy who died, and that was the end of expeditions for me. So 2018, once I'm sitting in my office, like all government offices, there was a pile of files which were there. I was going through the letters, and then I find this letter which says that army sending a team to Everest and they're looking for volunteers to lead the team. And then it struck me. I said, Romil, if you're not applying for as a volunteer, as it is, you're not going for Everest. It's as simple as that. Nobody's going to come and tell me, okay, Romil, you're going to lead the Everest, because Everest is not something like that. You've got to volunteer. It has to come from inside. So if it has to come from inside, I thought, let's give it a try. So I applied, and as they say, within 1 month of rigorous going through the past data and all, they realized, okay, Romil is capable enough to lead the team to Everest. And then once it was decided, I still remember 22nd of May, it was 2018, wherein it was decided in a conference saying that, okay, Colonel Romil Barthwal is going to lead. From that point to 2019, 22nd of May, one complete year, 22nd of May 2019, we submitted on top of the Everest. That 1 year of preparation, has given me so much of learning that my past 43, 44 years have not learned. And the journey has been tremendous. So first and foremost I learned was that, climbing Everest is not something like a profit and loss statement, which you have in a college or you study, or it's not like a startup that you try something, you fail, and you try again something. Because something like Everest, if you failed, it could mean loss of life. It's about life and death. It's that risky. In my year 2019, there were 18 people who died in that area, in Everest region, and I was the team leader. And army is all about ownership. It's all about team building and all. And I was not prepared at all to lose any of my teammates. Goes without saying. In army, you can do anything, but then you can't lose your people. You cannot carry the burden of somebody losing their life or taking their body to their home, saying that your son or daughter was my responsibility and I couldn't do my job properly. So that was always being in my head. So first and foremost, the moment it was decided that I'm going to lead, I said, I'm going to speak to whomsoever I can. So we spoke to all the previous Everesters, of the Indian Army, of anyone I could lay my hand. So first and foremost is ask for help. There's a lot of help available. Nobody would say no, but then you have to ask them that, this is what I want to do. I want what can be done. So first is ask for help, you'll get it. Apart from that, these days there's no excuse that you didn't know that. You cannot give excuse that you didn't have a book or something. So there's a lot of material available on the internet. Go through that. Ask people, read a lot of material, search YouTube, Google, whatever. I'm sure you guys know it. Everything is available there. So prepare well, plan everything well. Each and every step climbing to Everest was well planned. Like this month we are going to train in this aspect. We are going to do strength training. We're going to build up endurance. We're going to build cardio. So everything was well planned, right? Once that is done, then we did a lot of training climbs. We did. Nobody climbs Everest directly. You are in adventure club, so I anticipate you should be knowing that if you have to climb Everest, you have to climb smaller mountains first. So we started climbing, 5,000 meters, 6,000 meters, 7,000 meter climbs, and then we went for Everest. So, step by step, you build it up. Next was you upskill yourself. What are the challenges? You need to prepare for those challenges. So we did mountaineering courses. We did a basic mountaineering course. We did a advanced mountaineering course. We did a rescue course. We did, special course for Everest. We did specific ladders and everything was placed to get used to it. So if your target is really big, you have to prepare for that. You've got to slowly build it up, and as we say, build up one step at a time. So all these aspects, be it training, be it all these, it's like a project management kind of a job where you have to look for all the aspects which can come and kill all the variables which you can anticipate. And for Everest, there are thousands of variables. You can be prepared for those thousand, but then we understand how nature is. So 1,001 could crop up, or 2,000 something could crop up. So those things can always be there. I remember, I'll share an incident. We were in Siachen. We thought for something like Everest, we have to train the best. So what situation could simulate a situation like Everest would be Siachen. So we were in Siachen in December, January, February. A lot of time we spent over there. And there was this time once I was in my base camp at Siachen. We were climbing the one of the peaks the next day, and suddenly on the radio set, my radio set beeps, and I get a call saying that Romil, you're not supposed to go out tomorrow because the weather, it's been snowing for past 3 days, and because of the snow, the chances of avalanche are very high. And then I was thinking, we are at 5,500 meters. Everest is 8,848. So if we don't take calculated risk now, then we'll not be able to prepare well for Everest. So we said, we'll go ahead. Next day morning, fair enough. Morning we started. There were 15 of us. I was in the end checking how everybody is behaving, because from there you can see, who's doing what, how are they doing. And we were climbing. One step. Suddenly, there was a loud noise. Tuck. There was this noise, and then we see an avalanche coming. The moment I turned back, because the moment you see an avalanche, you're supposed to follow the drill, which is to turn and leave the path of the avalanche, the runaway zone, you call it. The moment I turned and started running, before I could run, the avalanche speed was, definitely very fast, and I got trapped inside. The moment I got trapped, I realized, I'm not going to survive, because chances of surviving from avalanche negligible. But the moment you're thinking that you would survive, not survive, that thing is going in your mind, and you feel that, okay, that means you're alive. You're alive. That's why you're thinking you'll survive or not, and that gives you hope. And hope is one thing you really stick to it in the mountains. So it happened like that, and within seconds I realized, I'm alive. I need to do something. So I made a pocket. What you're supposed to do is supposed to make a pocket so that you can breathe at least for some time. And by the time I realized, I had taken 5-6 rolls, and then I was kind of waist deep inside the snow. And That was the time I realized, that was a close shave. And then I turned back and towards my team, seeing, what they were doing. And believe you me, that sight really killed me, because there was a second avalanche which was coming. And the moment I saw that second avalanche, I again did the same drill. I turned back, and within no time, I was again in the avalanche. And imagine the mindset. You're in an avalanche, and you're thinking, Romil, had you been lucky, the second avalanche wouldn't have come. The second avalanche itself means that God doesn't want to be you to be alive. It was, shocking for me. How would I do it? But then again, that thought process came to me that, if you're thinking, that means you're alive. There's hope. And hope, as I said, is really big thing in mountains. So all these lessons really teach you a lot. We were at this time, I went further ahead, and then we got up. We were kind of chest deep, turned back, realized everybody's safe. And so, these kind of experiences really teach you a lot. And they make you so humble that, you're such a small person in front of such big mountains. So start cherishing small things in life. Stop running after things which, are materialistic in life, and focus on things which, really make you happy. Because at the end of the day, as I said, you'll live 50 years, 60, 70, 80. It's not infinite. So whatever time you're there, make the most out of it. So that's what my learning and experience have been, that, if you're in IIM Lucknow, IIM Calcutta, don't wait that, you'll struggle for 5 years and then you'll enjoy. You'll never be able to do it. A person who wants to enjoy, he'll enjoy in any condition, anywhere. And a person who doesn't want to enjoy, he'll keep struggling. And these kind of things keep happening always in life. So the time is now. Do it, and keep doing what you want to do in life. That's the best part.
Thank you so much, sir. I think listening to your experiences, many of us have also realized that we should do hard work, and we should face difficulties with perseverance. And especially the avalanche situation, I think most of us must have had goosebumps when we were telling about that. So, sir, moving on, I think since you have done expeditions yourself and now you're leading various expeditions, what I would like to understand is, how is doing an expedition yourself and leading an expedition different? Because I'm sure you must have had experiences where, your teammates are breaking down or backing out from going ahead. And how do you handle these situations?
See, first of all, my background was different from the listeners here, because being in the army, uh, people generally don't back out, because there are a lot of other things which are there. And let me tell you a fact. I led the special forces team of the Indian Army. And special forces, the name itself means that, special forces guys are really special, and they are so special that, even after leading the team, the army team, for ultra marathons, or having done half Ironman, or other lot of such adventure stuff, I was the weakest link in my team. My teammates were, fabulous. You can't believe it, how strong they were, right? So these kind of things really make you very humble once you realize that, you're leading a team which is that strong, and these guys will never give up. But yet, yes, you are right. Once I left the army, I'm in a different profession now. The people who come to us for various treks and all, they're not professionals. It's well understood. There's a corporate peoples, somebody is top shot in somewhere and they want to spend time. So these people generally give up. At some point of time, and it's, as a team leader, my team's responsibility to motivate them and strike a balance between safety and summit. So that's again very important. So it's important to keep them motivated, and make them keep doing what they have come here for. And regarding the aspect you asked regarding leading a team as a team leader and being a member, it's a two different thing. People say that, uh, if on a scale of 1 to 10, it's, you would rate climbing Everest as 8. I would say climbing Everest as a team leader is definitely double the effort. It's 16 out of 10. Why I say so? As I said earlier, army is all about ownership. It's all about, responsibility of the team. And for me, these are the values which have been taught to me since the time I joined the National Defense Academy or the IIML. So there's a motto from once you come to the military academy, it says that the safety, honor, and welfare of the country comes first, always and every time. Next comes the men you command, and third or the last is you. So it's all about the country, it's all about the team, and you're always the last. So as a team leader, my funda was saying that keeping the safety in mind, we'll do the summit because summit is for the country. You're taking the army flag, you're taking the country flag. So that cause is very clear. And if your cause is such, you'll obviously, keep motivated 24/7. You'll think about, ways and means to make that dream come true. So that cause was very clear to us, and there was no doubt. Second, as I said, the team was very strong, and I had to look after them because these people were looking up to me for any decision, for anything. Because, as I said, for every there are a lot of variables. For example, you're not sure when you're supposed to climb because you have 2 months window, and then you get weather window, and then you can decide on whether you're going to climb on 21st, 22nd, 23rd. So that decision lies on the team leader, and how is everybody's health behaving, how much training you should do, strike a balance between training fatigue and climbing up. So a lot of things comes to a team leader, and it's a very lonely place at the top. So that's why it's been a very tough journey, and tough times really bring out the best in you, and that's why you can see the white hair. Otherwise, I was quite young before I was nominated as team leader, but then it's all worth it. All the challenges and all. Like, I'm sure the hard work which the professors are making you do at the IIMs will definitely keep you in good state by the time you finish your MBAs from there. So keep working hard, and these kind of experiences will only, right now you might feel very shitty about where you are and why you are, but then definitely it's going to pay back in times to come.
Thank you so much, sir. So I think, as we mentioned, you have also participated in the Northern Command Army Adventure Cup, and you have coached and managed the command team in the triathlon, Army Adventure Challenge Cup triathlon. So, sir, how has that experience been, different from what you have always been doing, and what has been most unique about that particular experience?
Great. So that was a different experience, and I say so because I was the oldest member in the team for the Adventure Challenge Cup. It's a very unique competition because it's a triathlon, which starts with mountain biking. Next is mountain running, and third is whitewater rafting. So rafting was new. I had to learn a lot of skills there, and mountain biking, mountain cycling, mountain running was still okay. So my most important lesson from that, and which I want all of you to understand, is that you're never too old for trying something which you want to do. If your heart says do this, don't look at your age. Don't think that I'm so old, so I'll not be able to run, or I'll not be able to do this, I'll not be able to pick up any new skill. That's all bullshit. Right? What's important is, if you really want to do something, if your heart says you have to do this, you can always find ways and means to do it. There are a lot of literature, a lot of knowledge available. So that was my biggest learning from there. That I was oldest participant there. Many of them were kind of half my age, but then I was competing with them, and it was a great learning being with them, learning from their aspects. Other thing was, there are no limits to human capabilities. As I said, if you're doing mountain running, mountain cycling, and whitewater rafting, if you want to do it, if you have to make sure your team is there at the top, you have to be with the team, and you have to really work hard for that. I'll share you another incident. So we were rafting, that we were this time we were doing in Rishikesh. So Rishikesh, our team was training for the competition, and we thought we'll go against the tide. So the water was gushing on one side, and we said, we'll go against it. So I was the team leader, being the oldest and senior most, and experience wise I was there. So I was taking my team, and we were rafting towards that side. We tried first to go against the tide, we couldn't. We came back. We tried the second time, again we failed. And third time we said, Bharat Mata ki jai, or whatever, motivation you can do to the teammates, Bajrang Bali ki jai, and we said, this time we'll do it. And we were doing, we are using the pedal hard, and then we could, the moment we reached the top of the tide, the raft toppled. And it was havoc because the flow was very harsh that day. And suddenly I realized, the moment I went inside the water, I came outside, the boat was, the raft was very far ahead, and I was kind of, got engulfed in the water, and I had to drink lots and lots of water, and I thought, again I'll dead. I'll not be able to survive. But then I have been very lucky in life. Many times I've had flows safe in doing various adventures, and this was one such instance. Luckily, I survived, and great experience. The team also, always is pumped up once they have a team leader like that, because you're going to be leaders in times to come once you join after your IIMs, and everybody will have high expectations from you. So make sure all your subordinates, you don't let them down ever. There'll be so many people that they'll look up to you because of your background, because of the things you've done. And you should never be found wanting. That's very important, because any slightest of doubt in your mind, you've lost it. Believe me. And it's very easy these days to see through people. So even the subordinates will be able to make it very easily once they see any doubt or any confusion in your mind. So be very clear. Be you should be able to justify yourself whatever you're doing, and that's what matters in the end. Once you're able to do it, definitely you'll have a lot of respect, and your teammates will give you, blood, sweat, and tears. They'll do everything for you, provided they have faith in you. And faith can only come once you keep the team's interest above your own or above anything else. So these aspects, we follow it, and it's easy for us to follow being from the army. But I'm sure these values are not that difficult to implement, and I wish all of you to follow that, so that we make a better country, and the institute's name also goes to the top.
Sure, sir. It was great listening to that experience. So, sir, as you mentioned, right? So, I mean, currently we are in our mid-20s, and we usually get bogged down with so many other things going on around, and we don't get that much time to, enjoy things that we already love. What I would like to understand is, this love for adventure and mountaineering, was it always there with you? How it developed, and despite having so much experience in the industry, how have you nurtured this love for adventure, and you even managed to start a startup around that? So, sir, would you like to throw some light on that?
Sure. So once I was in the National Defense Academy, I was horrible in running. There was no question of adventure, or academically, I was, again, in a very bad state. In fact, let me tell you a fact. In my graduation, I passed out with the third division. 3.47 was my CGPA, and that was the time, I realized, how the hell can this happen? A third division graduation, and I was one of the worst guys as regards running is concerned. So let me tell you, in life, if you have not experienced this, you'll surely experience it in some way or the other in due course of life. And it is that, then once in life, you'll always have something called a self-doubt. That, I'm not good for anything. I'll not be able to make it. Those kind of, negativities do crop up in life. It's pretty normal. Everybody goes through it. But believe you me, the day you conquer those feelings, you'll be a different person altogether. My case again, my turning point in life came when I joined the IIT Kharagpur MTech. Even after doing a third division graduation, I could work hard and make it to the masters at IIT Kharagpur. And there was just one feeling in life. which was that, if a third division guy can make it to IIT Kharagpur, and then I published few research papers in journals, conferences, big ones. So that feeling sunk inside me that, if you work hard, no matter what, you will succeed. It's as simple as that. It looks very simple. 10 people will tell you, but then the day you feel it, you'll be a different person, believe me. Right? So in life, the moment you get bogged down, it's okay to get bogged down. It's very normal. Don't feel, why is it happening with me? Why am I scoring less? Why other people are able to do 10 things I'm not able to do, even 2 things? That's very normal to have self-doubts in life. But believe me, if you keep working hard, the resilience will make sure you'll be able to do it. You don't have to give up. That's the only point in life. It's like the movie Rocky. If you have not seen it, do watch it. It says that, a very famous dialogue. And it is that it's not important how many times you hit the other person. What's important in life is that how many times you get hit, but you still keep moving forward. And that's how winning is done in life. You keep getting bogged down, you keep feeling pathetic, you keep feeling, that you are the most useless person. It doesn't matter. It does not matter, believe you me. I am kind of double your age, more than double your age. So learn from these experiences. Everybody goes through tough times, and the people who fight these tough times are the ones who really make it, I won't say big, but then a happy person. And that's what life is all about. Be happy. Why get bogged down by small things? Think macro level, how your present failure is going to affect 5 years, 10 years from now, and you'll realize, these small things don't matter. That's what mountains teach you. Mountains teach you that, there's so many things in life. Worry about those rather than small things. It's about the attitude which gets drilled inside you, that is going to make you a better person. So once you say that, you don't get time for adventure, or you don't get time for treks or something, if you really want something, I've said, you'll find time for it. It's as simple as that. That's what my learning has been. Whatever I have decided that I want to do it, I've got it. As simple as that. And I've had so many failures that I can't even count and tell you. So that's pretty normal. So it's okay, fail, get up, keep doing, keep failing, keep doing. These days we have, in a startup, I'm sure you would understand in times to come, if not already, you fail so many times every day that you first of all lose count, and then you don't even, you learn from those mistakes by those failures, but then you keep moving forward. It's what we say, unlearn, learn, unlearn, learn, fail, keep doing, fail, keep doing something. And one advice I would say as a B school students is, make full use of the opportunity of the institute you are in. Even if it is online these days, does not matter. Get behind your professors. These guys are excellent. You'll not get these kind of people anywhere. You might feel, he's not helping, she's not able to support, whatever. It's all crap. Just get after them. These guys are superb. And if possible, not everybody will be able to do it. I'm not sure how many of you are even following what I'm saying, but then side hustle is something which you have to do. I used to, once I was in IIM Lucknow, I used to tell these PGP students, I used to tell them, then, various shops which are there, bid for it, learn from that. Don't try to make money. Money is, automatically will come. Nobody can, keep you away from money if you're doing what you love to do. Learn. Focus is only on learning, and that's how, you'll succeed. That focus only on learning, keep experimenting, keep failing. Simple as that.
Thank you so much, sir. I guess that is a very big lesson for all the students and people in the audience here. Moving on, sir, you have mentioned that you, apart from all the mountaineering expeditions that you have done, you also enjoy adventure sports like bungee jumping, rafting. I understand that these are very different from, leading expeditions. So, sir, is there any memorable experiences that you have had during one of these sports?
Yeah, let me share you this. This is funny. So we were in Raiwala, which is close to Rishikesh. So once we had an outing. So there were three of us. We went for bungee jumping in Rishikesh. And as I said, I was the senior most. That was part of the Adventure Cup break we got. So the two youngsters, they were there with me, and three of us, we went for the bungee jumping. And a funny incident happened. We were just looking at each other, who's going to go first and do the jump. And these two young officers, they were looking at me because army is all about leadership. The senior most goes first. And I said, okay, fine. I'll just daily dialing what to do. Then this girl came. She was class 9 or something. She came. We spoke to her and we asked her, whether you've come alone, where your parents. She was like, my parents are all scared, so that's why they've not come. She came, and these guys tied the rope and all. She came and jumped. The moment we saw that, our jaws were like, and we said, "Yaar, ab to koi rassi bhi, if even if somebody's not tying the rope, we'll just jump it." And that's what happened. Immediately we saw that, and first I jumped, then the other two guys also. So life, it's not necessary that some professor is going to teach you something or some other is going to teach you. It can come in any way. So there are so many ways to learn. And as I said, I was a paratrooper in the army, so similar thing happened. Uh, as I said, army, it's all about the leadership. So I was the senior most in my team to jump out of an aircraft. So it was a helicopter, and we were at some height. We were to jump, and before we jump, everybody's morale, you have to build it up. Bharat Mata ki jai, Chhatri Mata ki jai, whatever the parachute which is there, because if there is a doubt in your mind that the parachute is not going to open, you're gone. Nobody can help you. So there was this guy, my clerk, he was there behind, and I told, and we were trying to pump each other up. And they said, let's do it, let's jump and all. Because the moment you're at that height, once the door opens, you can't even see small houses. It's that high. And I told him, I said, let's do it. And suddenly, once the moment came to jump, and this guy said, no, Saab, मैं jump नहीं करेगा. I was looking at him, I said, why? And he said, sir, मैं jump नहीं करेगा. I told him twice, thrice, but then this guy was not ready to jump. And finally we jumped, and this guy didn't jump. He came down in the helicopter, landed. Then I went up to him. I said, क्या हुआ? बस पता नहीं, मेरा दिल वो कर रहा था. Then he motivated, being in the army, he also understood that he had to jump, and then finally he jumped. So these kind of instances do happen. We call it adventure, part of duty, whatever. But then these are lifetime memories, and that's what life is all about. Having good memories, life stories. That's how you want to be remembered as.
Absolutely, sir. Thank you so much for sharing that experience. Uh, Sir, I guess listening to you today, most of us had nascent travel enthusiasts within us, and that has woken up now, I guess, listening to your great adventures that you have had. Sir, any advice that you would like to give to, the travel enthusiasts, the adventure enthusiasts, or maybe the B school students in general that are attending the session today?
See, first of all, I was very lucky. Once I was in Lucknow, we used to go very often. Every evening, we used to have fitness sessions in the park. We used to conduct it. Great time. And that was because once I was in IIT Kharagpur, there was this guy in my class. Again that gate guy only studies. And I remember one day I told him, I said, we'll play football in the evening. And he said, "Ki sir, आप मेरे को सिखाओगे?" And I looked at him, you know, a guy who's come for his masters, that old, and he was like, "Mujhe sikhaoge." I said, "What is there to learn football? We are not professionals. Just come and kick." And he was like, "Sir, मैंने कभी football खेला ही नहीं." And I was shocked. He said, "Once I was in class 8, 9, parents put me in a, these kind of preparation for engineering and all, whatever. And he had never stepped out. And I was feeling so bad for him. And the problem is that, we get so engrossed in life and, mundane 9 to 5 kind of things and such stuff, whatever you call it, that we just don't know how to live life. So aim of life is not just to exist. Aim is to, live life. So that's what I want to convey to all the students who are listening, that, not just exist, live life. That's more important. Nothing is going to happen if you miss about half an hour of your studies or 1 hour of studies. I'm sure you would be doing 10 other things which are not productive. Go out, step out, go for a walk, run, spend time outside, take a break every, 2 months, 3 months, whatever you can afford based on your studies. I'm not saying don't study, but then it's important to start living. And the kind of learnings you have with travel, in stepping out, is tremendous. you know I've been to so many countries now because of uh, the marathons or mountaineering, and the kind of learnings we have had are the ones we'll never read in a book. And these kind of experiences are the one which will give you ideas about the startup, which will give about ideas about your direction in life. It's not that everybody's able to find their passion. Many times people ask me, how to find your passion. And I say is that it's not easy to find your passion. It's just that you keep trying things which you have not done earlier and see what strikes with you, what you like doing, and you can want to continue with that. If you're able to do and find your passion, then there's no stopping. You can keep going, keep following that, because now your cause is clear, that why you're doing it is clear. Now it's only that you have to work towards it and achieve that.
Absolutely, sir. Thank you so much for that response. I think we all feel very motivated now. And as you mentioned, that it is important to step out of the box and try to follow your passion. I would now like to open the floor to the audience. I think we already have one question in the chat box. Ishu asks that, so you have spent time in industry, in the army, and now with your own startup. He wants to know which one have you liked the most? I'm
That's a
sure, sir,
difficult
that is
one.
a tough question.
See, somebody who says army is a job has not got the essence of life. It's not got the essence of army. Army is not a job. It's just your life. Once you're in army, you don't think about anything else. It's about your team, your members, your unit, your country. That's about it. Nothing else. Right? So there's no comparison as such. There's no life like army. Believe you me. Right? So being in army is a different experience. It's a different field, different respect. A lot of things are different, right? And once you leave army, it was not an easy decision, first of all. But then, if I had to leave, I had to do something which would do justice to what I've learned in army. So that's why I said, let me motivate people to step out. Let me motivate people to those areas of life they have not explored. Indians now have started stepping out because they've realized that COVID or something can come up anytime. You cannot be planning for 100 years or 50 years now. You got to start living life, and that start living life means you explore so many things. You travel, you trek, you climb, try different things in life. So that's why I thought I'll get into it. And now I feel that the satisfaction of the people who climb with us or with my team is tremendous. And the reviews we get, the interactions we have had, it's kind of life changing experience. So we don't lead people to treks or climbs, we change their lives. And that satisfaction, once you are able to impact the lives of people, is tremendous. So it's a very satisfying journey, and it's very fulfilling. So I'm pretty happy doing both the stuff.
Thank you so much, sir. If anybody else in the audience has a question, they can raise their hand. Yeah, Dheeraj, please go ahead.
Hello, am I audible?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Dheeraj,
Dheeraj.
you're audible.
Yeah, so this is Dheeraj from IIM Lucknow. It's been a great session, sir. Thank you for that. My question is related to the business side of adventure, as you are right now operating a company. So I have worked in last 2 years with few vendors, and I have came to know that India has a very small manufacturing capability related to the accessories of adventure that we have. Accessories and the clothing and everything that is needed. That's for me a very important part of the adventure industry. And we do not generally manufacture it here. It's generally done in Nepal, and we do not have a stable, a big company or big brand in this field. Also, I can think of a brand Decathlon. Apart from that, I don't think there is much, consolidation in this industry as well. So, what is your take on that, and how what can you suggest us so that we can work on that as a team or as a startup?
Great, Dheeraj. I'm so happy you asked this because somebody from my institute asking this, makes me really feel proud. You're absolutely right. Absolutely right. There's a lot of demand, but then there's no one who is able to supply. I'll tell you why. We come from a country which was only about roti, kapda, makan. Khana chal raha hai, enough. That's what our parents have seen. Your grandparents have seen that, there was no concept of adventure in their life. The day-to-day adventure itself was ki khana mil ja raha hai, that's more than enough. That was the initial part. Times have changed. If you step out, any city you go, there's no dearth of money. People have lots and lots of money, right? So they want to spend. And as I said, after COVID, everybody wants to spend because they've realized that the money they've got will just stay with them. Then life has to go on. Right? Decathlon, again, you have said a very nice point. Decathlon is one company, but then what we need to understand, there are two things. One is Trek, which is low level thing, not going very high. So small altitudes, Decathlon is able to just manage. You can wear those clothing and just do it. But then once it comes to high altitude climbing, mountaineering, Decathlon is not able to do that. Let me be very blunt. It's not made for that. It's only made for low level treks. So what we do right now in our case, we have tie-ups with Nepal because all our stuff is from Nepal, and Nepal also gets it imported from Italy, from other countries. So it's a great opportunity. And as I said, there are people who want to buy stuff, but then they don't have options. They're only going to Decathlon, or what we tell them is that go to Nepal, buy stuff from there. So anybody who gets into this space, it's a gold mine. And not just this, there are so many other places in adventure wherein you can make a lot of money. There are a lot of gaps which are there which can be fulfilled, and I think it's a great opportunity. Good question.
Thank you, sir. Got it.
Thank you so much, sir. If there are no other questions, okay. Yeah, please go ahead.
So first of all, a big thanks for this session. It was very motivating. It was really nice to listen to all the stories that you had. So my question isn't about the business aspect. It is a little technical in the sense. I'm interested in pursuing mountaineering, but I have almost no experience. So maybe you can you please tell us where can one start if he has to build physical endurance, maybe, or what are the basics that one can focus on?
Great. So, anybody who wants to step into mountaineering or trekking, first of all, as any aspect of life, you start from the first step. You don't suddenly go and climb the Everest. So you start with the first step. First step in IIM Lucknow or in Calcutta or wherever you are is you cannot have a high altitude thing. You cannot train in the mountains unless you are in Leh Ladakh or you are in Uttarakhand or Himachal. So if you're in sea level, you build up your endurance. How you build up is you start with long walks, and then next aspect you start with running, do a lot of cardio, strength training. There are a lot of such applications available on the Google Play or on YouTube. Go through them and build up your fitness. Once fitness is done, then you start climbing with lower altitudes. Start with a 3,000 meter climb or 4,000 or 5,000, 6,000. Slowly build it up to higher climbs. That is one. Other thing you can do is you can skill yourself. There are If you Google, you'll find there are national institutes which are there on mountaineering. Like there's one Nehru Institute of Mountaineering in Uttarkashi. There's NIMAS in Arunachal. Similarly, the Atal Bihari Vajpayee Institute in Manali. So there are government institutes which are, very reasonably priced. So the cost for the whole course for 28 days is close to 14,000 or something, including food, including gear, everything. So do a basic course. Once you get a good grading, you can apply for an advanced course and a rescue course. So that is a correct way of building up your profile if you want to get into mountaineering.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot.
Welcome, always.
Yeah, Dilpreet, please go ahead.
First of all, thanks for the session, sir. Sir, I want you to please share your experience while you were receiving the Balidan badge. Can you please share that experience, that moment?
See, Dilpreet, mine was a different setup, and due to security reasons, and it's a public forum, so I'll not be able to do it because mine was a uh, different kind of special forces. Somehow I'll not be able to discuss in the forum. But then getting a maroon beret or something like special forces, it's a different field. Since you have asked me this, I'm sure you know the kind of challenges, uh, the kind of emotions one goes through, being in the army and getting this. And it wasn't easy. I tried to join the special force 3 times. I volunteered. Somehow the army didn't find me good enough to, give me the opportunity. But then finally, once I got it, that's, I think, definitely is one of the biggest achievements in life. Uh, Maybe higher than Everest or running marathons or sitting recording the ultra marathon. So that was one special moment. Just that I'll not be able to share much. Offline, we can discuss when you want to speak to me. You can connect with me and take it forward.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome, Dilpreet.
Yeah, Aniket, you can go ahead.
Hi, good evening, sir. Thank you for such an inspiring session. I just wanted to know that I know they say that age is just a number, but really, what is that drive? What is that passion that keeps you motivated to, try out adventure sports? And even after working for so many years, especially with the associated health risk and, the factors that you have to consider before taking on a, major project.
See, Aniket, I'll tell you one example. I did my schooling from Sardar Patel Vidyalaya, which is in Lodi State, Delhi. So I had a friend of mine. She was there in Nepal once I was climbing Everest. So, and she had come for a UN conference. The World Conference was there in Nepal. So I was telling her that I'm going for climbing Everest, and she won't get any hint. Why would somebody do something like this? This way you were saying the health risk or age, whatever. I think you need a different mindset altogether. If I tell you something, you'll not be able to understand. That's for sure. If you feel it yourself, then only you'll be able to understand. It requires a different mindset to do something which is very risky in somebody's mind. In my case, not doing anything is more risky. And at the end of the day, what are we risking about? We are risking about a life which is, as such, as I said, is finite. So if not now, after a few years, after 10 years, 15 years, right? So there's risk everywhere. It's just that you train yourself well to mitigate the effect of risk. Like, had risk been so much in my mind, I wouldn't have joined the army. So that mindset itself, army builds you that, these kind of risk and such things don't matter much. What matters is that your cause, you've learned that if you do something, it gives you that high in life. Something what we call nasha. Something. Why do people smoke? Why do people drink? I'm sure you all understand that being in IIMs, that there's something you have to do it. Then only you'll be able to understand. And I'm glad you asked. I'm sure you would also be doing some things which not everybody understands. But then that's what life is. Everybody is different that way.
Sure, sir. Totally makes sense. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, buddy.
Omkar, you can go ahead.
Good evening, sir. It's Omkar from IIM Calcutta. It was great
Thank
listening
you.
to you, sir. So, as the talk went on, I got to know that you really have a very diverse kind of career, and also you have faced different kind of situations, and really have a good base of situations and experiences. So, like guiding to us, the students of MBA aspirants, we can say, what a mantra you will give to stay motivated and inspired throughout our journey in our maybe in career or maybe in life.
Great, Omkar. So first and foremost, everybody has their own mantra. What clicks with you might not click with me, or what clicks with me might not click with you. But I'll share what my mantra or my thought process is. Is that once I was climbing Everest, it's a very painful time. Believe you me, the photographs and Instagram, the reels, and everything looks very glamorous, very tempting. It's not that. So the problem is, uh, whenever you're climbing, you're in bad state. Your head is pounding because of lack of oxygen. You're not eating properly. The weather is pathetic. Everything is against you, right? But then what keeps you going is that the cause which you are. In our case, as I said, our cause was to reach and unfold the national flag on top of Everest. Plain and simple. So if your cause is clear, you'll find a way. And my mantra was, every step is a struggle on Everest. So left foot, I used to keep it down, and I used to enchant that mantra in my head that pain is temporary. Whatever failures you're going through in a B score is all temporary. You know, and the right foot, I used to say, pride is forever. This pain, if you bear it for some time, for 1 year, 2 years, the pride which you're going to gain, or the knowledge which you're going to gain, is going to be tremendous. I remember, I was in IIT Kharagpur. Again, like you guys, I used to work very hard, wake up late, and again early morning work and all. There have been times wherein tears have been pouring in down my eyes. That why do you need to punish yourself so much? And this same thing was there. That this pain is only temporary. The knowledge which I'm going to gain, the everyday delta increase which is there happening in my intellectual levels, in my learning, is going to benefit me in long term. So you need to understand the small failures does not matter. It's the bigger picture in life which you have to focus. So that's important, Omkar.
Thank you, sir. That really helped.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for the engaging session today, and it was great hearing from you about your experiences. I'm sure everybody enjoyed a lot and learned from what you have said and your experiences that you have shared here. Thank you so much for taking the time to address the audience at IIM Lucknow. And I would love to, and we would actually love to have you on campus soon as conditions are more favorable. We also thank the team Armageddon from IIM Calcutta for making this session engaging, and everybody in the audience for joining and hearing from sir and learning from him. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, sir.
Okay, guys. All the best. Thank you so much for all
Thank you
this.
so much, sir.
Thank you,
Bye
sir.
bye.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.